ASEAN finding its role in the EV race, the back-end supply chains, that is?
Yeah, certainly Indonesia has been topping the headlines in that space. This has been helped by IPOs of many metal companies as well in Indonesia over the last couple of weeks. So I think Indonesia will continue to play that sort of leadership role in sort of EV-related supply chain investments into ASEAN. But I think other countries are also starting to get their act together. I think Malaysia is trying to play catch up after a very slow start in sort of encouraging EV setups into Malaysia. We don't really have the incentive framework in place yet, but that's something the government is looking at very closely. And I believe Thailand as well has ramped up in terms of incentivizing EV purchases by its consumption base. And that's going to help swing many EV investments into Thailand as compared to other ASEAN countries. So I think it's a work in progress in ASEAN, but definitely at the moment, Indonesia is hogging the headlines there.
It is. You are cutting Vietnam's 2023, this year, full-year GDP growth forecast to 5.5%. Hasn't Vietnam been the key beneficiary of the whole reorientation, repathing of supply chains coming out of China?
Yeah, I think ASEAN as a whole has seen a benefit, but you're right. Vietnam is definitely by far the biggest beneficiary. It was already sort of benefiting from Korean and Japanese investments, being shunted away from China into Vietnam. We've also seen Chinese manufacturers looking to de-risk investing in Vietnam as well. I think that the issue for Vietnam is not so much, at this point in time at least, the lack of investment interest in the country. It's really domestic factors, what's happening in the property sector, politics as well, or the government in terms of changes in personality. I think those issues are what's holding the market back at this point. So yeah, we could say that the fact that this uplift in Chinese demand we were all looking forward to this year has been quite disappointing year to date, and that impacts countries like Vietnam, Singapore, and Indonesia the most. And Vietnam is also feeling that sort of hangover as well. But really, we do expect these kind of issues to be worked out into the second half of the year, when perhaps Chinese demand will be more apparent, and a lot of the government stimulus measures, including an impending interest rate cut, will help stimulate the economy again.
You got to, just to go back to Thailand for a second, you're expressing a degree of caution about Thailand, but the market has been lagging so much. Given that much of the news is already in there, do you think that might be an interesting space to watch, and where would you be looking?
Definitely. It's a very volatile market at the moment. You saw big moves even yesterday, all driven by political news flow. Our view is it will remain quite volatile as an investment choice for the next 1 to 3 months as, the Election Commission looks to certify the elections. I mean, we sort of suss out the form of the new government and the Prime Minister, obviously. But I think from a 3 to 6 month view, we are quite excited. I think any new government that comes in, the first thing they will do is stimulate the economy. And that's going to be good for consumption stocks like Com7, HomePro, CPO. Also, we don't think the politics is going to derail the tourism recovery in Thailand. Yeah, so we're in a bit of a lull right now seasonally, but from June, July onwards, we expect a big pickup in tourism numbers again. And stocks like Minor, as well as Erawan, we think are looking quite good value after a recent sell down at this point.